Greetings, guys. Happy Friday. I'm Fancy. Let's get into it. This is your SwagHer Daily News Brief, and today's date is April 24, 2026. So, my bad, my AirPod going dead. Okay, first up in the news, Spelman's controversial co-queens. A scoring error in Spelman's 43rd Miss Spelman competition has set off major controversy on campus and across the HBCU community. Kinsley Wilson was initially crowned on April 11th, with Jillian Collier named first runner-up, but a post-pageant review found a technical discrepancy in the scoring process. After recalculating, the college determined Collier had actually earned the highest overall score. Spelman's response: name them both co-queens. Collier, however, is not going quietly. She says she vehemently disagrees with the decision, calling it unfair and unjust, and says she's being cheated out of a title she rightfully earned. The internet has been loud. TikTokers and the broader HBCU community are calling out Spelman for a serious miscalculation that robbed these young women of their individual moment. My heart goes out to every single one of those girls, especially the girls that were robbed that night. One creator said, "You only get that moment once, and they should have had it, and they didn't get to have it because of a miscalculation." Spelman says it's overhauling its protocols and apologized for the error. The community says that's not enough, and for the record, this reportedly isn't the first time scoring issues have surfaced at the pageant. A former Miss Spelman from 2006 shared publicly that she was also originally named a runner-up before a correction was made. In its in its 43-year history, this is the first time Spelman has ever crowned co-queens. So I don't know. What do y'all think about that? As far as with the whole Spelman situation and the co-queens, like, would you be accepting of being a co-queen? Really, I ain't gonna lie. I think I would just go ahead and accept it, but that's me. But I know that other people. I mean, I know that those girls really did work hard, so they may not be as accepting of that because they put a lot of money into winning those sort of things, don't they? In other news, then this story is really sad, and the next story is too. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I want to make certain that you all are informed and know what's going on in the news. So, 14-year-old and Mhilo Young. 14-year-old Mhilo Young and 12-year-old Tyale Coates were best friends. During spring break, they asked their parents if they could walk down the street to check out a new food truck in the parking lot of the Circle 7 Express convenience store in Northeast Washington, D.C.'s Kenilworth neighborhood. They never came home. Multiple shooters pulled up to that parking lot on April 14th and unleashed more than 60 shots at a group of people in broad daylight at 3:30 in the afternoon. Both boys were hit. One boy was pronounced dead at the scene. The second was succumbed to his injuries the following morning. What should have been a week of spring break fun ended in two families planning funerals instead. The aunt of one of the boys told reporters that moments after the shooting, a friend came pounding on the door to tell their mother her son had been shot. Police are still searching for the shooters. Say their names: Mhilo and Tyale. And then the last story that I have today, it's a little bit longer, but it's so many parts to it, I feel. So, this April alone, three devastating cases have forced a national reckoning around the killing of Black women by men who claim to love them. Three Black women targeted, three separations in progress, three men who chose violence over letting go, all in the same month. In Coral Springs, Florida, Nancy Mateer Bowen was found shot to death in her own bedroom on April 1st. Police found her body wrapped in a comforter and a garbage bag. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, allegedly shot her, slept in the house, and then fled to another city to try to hide the murder weapon. He now faces charges of premeditated murder and evidence tampering. Nancy was not just a wife and mother, she was a Johns Hopkins educated Haitian American rising political star, the first Haitian American elected to the Coral Springs City Commission. She had been tapped by both the Biden and Harris presidential campaigns to lead Caribbean voter mobilization efforts in Florida. She was quietly preparing to run for Congress. Those closest to her say she never imagined she was living, or they never imagined she was living in this personal hell. The 911 call that finally brought police to her door was the sixth call for service at that address since the couple moved together in 2023. Six calls, and she still didn't make it out alive. In Annandale, Virginia, Dr. Serena Fairfax and Fairfax, a 49-year-old dentist and mother of two teenagers, was killed on April 16th in a murder-suicide carried out by her estranged husband, former Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax. The couple had been in the middle of a contentious divorce. A Fairfax County judge had just weeks earlier recognized alarming warning signs, documenting her husband's undefined emotional and psychological issues, daily alcohol use, and emotional withdrawal, and awarded Serena primary custody of their children. The judge described her in court documents as the children's planner, scheduler, caretaker, cook, disciplinarian, and primary nurturer. The children's remarkable resilience, the judge wrote, came down to what can best be described as a mother's grit. Court records also revealed that her husband had secretly purchased a firearm using money meant for their children's horseback riding lessons. 2 weeks before a court deadline ordered him out of the basement. I'm sorry. 2 weeks after a court deadline ordered him out of the family's home, he shot and killed Serena in their basement while their teenagers slept upstairs. Their son had to call 911. Legal experts have since questioned whether the court system did enough after recognizing those red flags, noting that warning signs, including the secret firearm purchase and documented mental health decline, were all on the record, and still she was left unprotected. Virginia's Governor Abigail Spanberger released a statement calling her death a horrific tragedy and a reminder that domestic violence can occur in any family and in any place. Serena's attorney said her death leaves an immeasurable void in the lives of all who knew and loved her. Above all else, those who knew her said she was a devoted mother whose whole world was her children. In Shreveport, Louisiana, not Atlanta, Shaniqua Elkins and Christina Snow, both women survived, but 8 children do not. On April 19th, Shamar Elkins carried out what is now the deadliest mass shooting in the United States in 2026 and the deadliest in Louisiana history. 8 children, ages 3 to 11, most of them shot in their sleep, were killed. 7 were his own children, one was his nephew. Family members told reporters that Elkins had previously threatened his wife, telling her he would unalive her and their kids and himself if she ever tried to leave. They were due in divorce court the very next morning. I'm wondering about my words because I know that Facebook you can't say certain things, but he shot his ex-wife Christina Snow 9 times at her home first. He then drove to the home where his wife, that was his ex-wife. He then drove to the home where his wife, Shaniqua, and their children slept and opened fire. Shaniqua's sister, Keosha, and a 12-year-old girl escaped by jumping from the roof. It was Keosha who called a family member and said he didn't shot the kids. He killed the kids. At a press conference Monday, Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith said the chances are good that this was not the first time. Over 30% of the murders in Shreveport are domestic in nature. This one more than doubled the city's entire homicide count for the year in a single act. The bigger picture, these are not isolated incidents. They are part of a well-documented deadly pattern. Black women are 2 times more likely to be murdered by men than their white counterparts. And according to a 2025 study by the Violence Policy Matter, that's according to the Violence Policy Matter, sorry. More than 9 in 10 Black female victims knew their killer. More than 4 in 10 Black women experienced physical violence from an intimate partner during their lifetimes, a higher rate than women of any other racial group, according to the CDC data. Advocates say a historically justified distrust of police and child services make Black women more reluctant to seek help and more vulnerable as a result. Domestic violence is about exerting power over someone that you profess to love and controlling their behavior, said Pamela Tate, executive director of Black Women Revolt Against Domestic Violence. Others are naming it plainly. This is femicide, the targeted killing of women because they are women. There must be no more excuses, wrote the Washington Informer in an editorial this week. Depression is real, stress is real, but neither pulls a trigger. 3 women, 3 cases, 1 April. Black women deserve to live. If you or someone you know is in danger, the National Domestic Violence Hotline number is 1-800-799-7233, or you can take START to 88788. At, and then there's the hotline.org as well. Today's Swagger Brief is brought to you by the Visibility Vault for Black Businesswomen, also affectionately known as the VV for BB. The membership community built specifically for Black women entrepreneurs who are done playing small and ready to be seen. If today's stories moved you, reminded you of your own strength, or simply confirmed that community is everything right now, this is your sign. We're currently offering a 1 week free trial membership inside the Visibility Vault. You all can inbox or DM me to get started. Basically, we have a limited number of spots, but we do have spots. So if you're interested, definitely let me know. My sources were for the Spelman story, the Griot, 11 Alive, UATL, HBCU Sports, 7 News, WJLA, CNN, Washington Informer, PBS News Hour, NBC News, WTOP News, WUSA 9, WTVR, Haitian Times, Florida Politics, WLRN, Local 10, WPLG, and Time Magazine and KSLA. So thank you all for tuning in to the Daily News Brief. Today's news was sad. I'm not gonna lie. Like for the last part, I had to brace myself kind of when I did the last 2 stories. Really with the quoting what Kiosha said, that really kind of touched me just deeply. But again, I think it's important that we are informed as members of the Black community and that we know what is going on. So most of this week, I've kind of been reporting about like some political stuff, gas prices, I run, but I have been seeing all the posts online, and I want to just take a moment to acknowledge all the women that we've lost this year already, just this month alone, and this is only the 4th month of the year, but to see so many women being unalived is just really heartbreaking, especially with my work with women and my passion for helping women, seeing those news stories. And it's almost like if you look at the stories that I just shared today, they were all kind of like right there. What was it? April 19th for the shooting in Shreveport. Um, that was the 19th. The shooting in Virginia was, I think it was April 14th. I don't, I don't see it. But then April 1st for Vice Mayor uh Bowen. So there's definitely something. I think there is definitely a pattern, and the fact that there's research behind it against the violence against women. I think we should be having more conversations around that. And I just want to take a minute to acknowledge that. But those are your news stories for the day. If you are interested in sponsoring the news segment, you can always DM us and let us know. Right now, this segment is sponsored by the Visibility Vault for Black businesswomen. As I just shared, we are offering a trial membership. For those who might be interested, you can always reach out to me via my inbox or DM and let us know, and we'll get you a weekend. Next week, we're going to have some guest speakers and presentations in the group. So next week will be a really good time if you just really like to see what it's like, see if you want to join, see if there's any value in it for you. And also so I'm showing y'all my face first. Nobody else has really seen it other than my family, but trying to get used to it, I guess. Even myself, it's still swollen, but this is me without my bandage. And I don't know, they were suggesting I go to a cosmetic surgeon, but I don't know if I'm gonna pursue that. Like, I am self-employed. My insurance is not cosmetic surgeon type, you know. But I don't think I am gonna look into it. But I really feel like I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't like the scars. I just got this taken off, but I realized like I had to talk with myself long before getting the bandages removed, and I was just like, if I do have scars, then I'll just have to accept that because what's most important is that I'm still here. Um, that car accident could have gone horribly wrong. Not only am I still here, but my daughters are still here, and that's even more important to me than anything. So, um, I'm just grateful. Somebody reminded actually the doctor when I was talking to her about it, and she was like, "Those are your reminders that you're still here." And so that's kind of how I'm gonna have to look at it. I remember I was look at these scars and just think, well, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I still have some purpose. I still, there's something more that God expects for me to do or has planned for me to do. I just need to get to it. So I think that is all the news for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace and blessings, and y'all have a great day.